Next matchup we have to get to is a game that everybody had circled on their calendars going into this year. I mean, come on, it was going to be a top five matchup. You got Penn State, uber talented, national title contender Penn State. They got all Americans all over the field. They got NFL talent all over the field. They're going to be having a great year. They have a cupcake schedule before they have to travel on the road to take on Columbus, or not Columbus, Ohio State, the Ohio State Buckeyes in Columbus. Ohio State is so talented too. They're coming off a national championship game. They'll probably lose to Texas, but then they'll win the rest of their games. And this is going to be a huge, huge Big Ten clash against Penn State and Ohio State. 11 o'clock kick, big noon kickoff. Game day will be there. This is going to be awesome. And then 10 weeks later, Penn State has yet to win a Big Ten game. This is a 20.5-point spread. And on my list of games to talk about this week, they are fifth. This is the fifth biggest game this week. A lot of people thought this was going to be one of the top five biggest games this year, but it's not even top four this week, in my opinion. Just crazy how a college football season can go. But nonetheless, Penn State is traveling to Ohio State. You know, this is usually one of the most talked about, most anticipated games of a college football season. At least for me, I've always loved watching this game ever since Penn State went into their own whiteout and knocked off Ohio State with a blocked kick. I thought that was one of the most epic games I've ever watched. And ever since then, I've always been excited for this football game. But that time I just described in 2016 when Penn State blocked a field goal, when Grant Haley scooped it up and scored, that's the last time Penn State has beaten Ohio State. Ohio State has won 8 in a row. Of course, a couple of those have been really, really close, but the Buckeyes have dominated this rivalry over the last 10 years, and Penn State hasn't won a game in Ohio since 2011. So it's been a while since the Nittany Lions have taken their team into the Horseshoe and pulled out a win. And folks, most people think that this team has no chance to do so. Now, I will say, this Penn State offense has just been absolutely and just entirely buns. They are buns. They are awful. They can't throw the ball. Drew Aller is out. Their wide receivers have been underwhelming. Nick Singleton has been a bust. Their offensive line has been getting beat by Northwestern, for crying out loud. And they just have no passion. They're kind of toast. Their offense is pretty toast. And when you're playing Ohio State, that is a recipe for burnt toast. Like burnt to the extreme. Like toast that's not even toast anymore. Toast that's just black rubble. That's probably what Penn State's offense is going to be at the end of this game. I mean, Ohio State's defense hasn't allowed a first half touchdown this entire season. They've played 7 first halves, and they've allowed 0 touchdowns in those first halves. Crazy. I mean, let's just look at the amount of points they've given up in the games they've played this season. They gave up 7 points in their week 1 game, then 0 points, then 9 points, then 6 points, then 3 points, then, hold your breaths, folks, 16 points, and then 0 points last week. This Ohio State defense has been a juggernaut. They're literally allowing under 6 points per game, which is just crazy. I mean, this defense has been otherworldly. It's always been great under Ryan Day. I think the first thing you have to say about this defense is how good their secondary is. I mean, it is so elite. They play a lot of cover 7, a lot of match coverage. Even if they're in man coverage, they're still elite. Davis and Igbenosum and Jermaine Matthews are 2 studs at corner. Caleb Downs might be the best defensive player in college football. Not to mention Sonny Styles. Oh, man. This Ohio State secondary is so good. They were so fun to watch against Texas. And I haven't really sat down and watched a whole Ohio State football game since then. But they are just so talented back there. Teams can't even think about throwing the football down the field against this defense. And with Drew Aller out, with Trevor Pena being okay, with Devontae Ross being okay, I don't see Penn State being able to throw this ball at all. I don't think there's a single chance that Penn State moves the ball down the field through the passing game. I legitimately don't think it's going to happen at all. And so how on earth could Penn State possibly win this game? Well, in my opinion, Katron Allen has been your best player this year, at least on offense. And if you want to win this game, I think you have to feed him the rock. I think you have to control things. They have to be efficient on first and second down. And I mean, hand it off to Katron Allen for 4 yards on first down, and then 4 yards on second down, and then convert 3rd and 2s. I think You have to keep Ohio State's offense off the field. You have to keep yourself on the field, shrink the game, run clock, and just I mean, this is supposed to be like a 4-hour game. Make it like a 2-hour game by just sucking away time and time and time. Long, long drives. That's what Penn State needs to win this game. Do I think they can do it? No. But hey, I've been proven wrong a lot this season. I mean, heck, I had Penn State as my preseason number 2 team going into this year. So did the AP poll. AP poll was also aggressively wrong. So anything can happen in college football. Let's not just throw out the fact that they could possibly win. And then if I look at Penn State defensively, I think they have a chance. I think Ohio State's offense, they're great. They're so talented, but they are definitely a rung lower than their defense. And if I look at this Ohio State offense, especially in the first half, they've struggled. They put up 7 points against Texas in the first half, and they put up 7 points on the road at Washington in the first half. So, and I know they were great against Illinois, they were great against Minnesota, they were good against Ohio, sure. But actually, I think they struggled in the first half against Ohio. I'm just saying, Penn State has a chance here to at least slow Ohio State's offense down in the first half and maybe control clock in the first half and have a lead going into halftime. And then maybe Julian Sand turns it over. Maybe you make a play on special teams. I'm just saying, it's not outside the realm of possibilities that Ohio State loses this game. It's just highly, highly, highly unlikely. Of course, I mean, I've just spoken on how Penn State can win. Here's how Ohio State can win. They can play like they always do on defense, hold Penn State to less than 10 points, and then Julian Sand can go out there and be efficient, and their wide receivers can make plays, and they'll win the football game. I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I would be just utterly shocked if Ohio State lost this game, just like I was utterly shocked when they lost to Michigan at home last year. It would be more shocking than that. So, of course, give me Ohio State to win this game. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a little messy. I've got the Buckeyes winning 27-3. That's what I got. Again, they should have won by pretty much that last year. It's just Penn State got a little lucky with they had like a pick six on the second play of the game or something like that, which really kept them in it. But I've got the Buckeyes winning this game. Again, just a spiraling year for Penn State. They are more focused on who their coach is going to be next year than who they're playing, and I think this is another product of that. So give me the Buckeyes to win and I guess to cover. I don't know. I don't know. Penn State's defense was supposed to be so good this year, and their defensive line has just stood no chance. Tony Rojas being injured has completely depleted their linebackers. They have no linebacker depth whatsoever. So yeah, give me Ohio State to win and to cover, which pains me to say because I always cheer for Penn State in this game, but there's just no way. Ohio State's just too good. They're too talented, and they're too elite on defense for Penn State to win this football game. So give me the Buckeyes. And Will, shockingly, also has Ohio State. So we both picked the Buckeyes to win this game, and I think the rest of America is also done.